the Emperor's envoy. Come to interfere in Stilgarrote business again? Certainly not. Besides, I have no more business in Fior. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the Governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. Fair enough, envoy. Talk to the man all you'd like. When diplomacy fails, the Stilgarrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adiran interests. Barter for peace, prepare for war. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's a subtle.
May the burned queen watch over you. At all godlike. I've heard whispers that one of your kind was here in the living lands. 'Tis a pleasure to... In case it wasn't clear, I'm the point of contact for anyone with bounties to turn in. Officially, I'm one of... If you must know, Vulpinet, these bounties are more pressing than my research. Someone had to be chosen to man the board. That person happened... Ahora Taugori. Oh, those... Oh, they big hair? Ah, those... Then I'm done. Evil, it is just in their nature to push back against the expansion of civilization. Still, survival of the fittest and all that, ne?
Oh, this'll be so very useful. They do such... Hang on. I'm afraid you're blessed a mad. So, I never... Yeah, I suppose it's a bit unusual to see one of my people about, but I'm here on important business. If you see anyone else from Sole's Keep... Thank you. I wouldn't want my But we still don't... You know what I mean. And Maria, may you find all your... It's important that the Council not hear about this. I was never here. You understand?
Genuine healing crystals, purest in all of Eora.
Please be discreet. Sole's Keep wouldn't understand.
Can I interest you in... Welcome to Poria in Velino, the finest legitimate apothecary of ever...
Come on, my invention is guaranteed to enlarge.
How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The dream scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? In that case, you're right on time.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion. Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
I'm sure he didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The dream scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now our farms. Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
We definitely agree on that.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the dream scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did. Before we can deal with the dream scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Must be nice that all the arguing isn't about you, for once.
I'm just trying to stop Chiata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. You must be unfamiliar with animancy. There's always collateral damage. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the dream scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. Really? Unexpected from an Adiran. But how could I refuse an offer like that? Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Chiata.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Chiata Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Ivèrno.
Banished?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Chiata is an outcast. Perhaps, but I can't just let her continue to poison the minds of my animancers.
They aren't your animancers. Your father understood that.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Ivèrno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
Another mouth to feed. Maybe we'll need to let Kai hunt more after all.
By tradition, the governor's manor is open to the public.
I'm sorry you had to witness that spectacle. Giatta is a spirited animancer, but she can be intolerable at times. Whatever you may think of us, I welcome you to Fior Ivèrno. Quilici wants us panicking over what he can't even prove. If there's a threat to Emerald Stair, it's that old man and his fear-mongering. Don't waste your time on him. He was loyal to my father, but never to me. And he knows how to rally others to his side.
He reminds me of a lieutenant I served under. Led us into a trap because he wouldn't admit his maps were wrong.
If there's nothing more, I have a city to run. No one is denying that the Living Lands is a dangerous frontier. Take Fior Ivèrno. This city has fought a war of attrition since the day my father laid the first stone. We have always persisted, and nothing will change that. Nothing. Oh, it's far from perfect, but it's ours. I know the Living Lands must seem wild and untamed to one so accustomed to the comforts of court. Some of us have the distinction to call this place home, sharp edges and all. We can outlast the wilderness. Try not to
Is this the governor's mother? Blessed a shame.
Ignacy. Maxim, where did you go? Teeth dancing in and out of my mouth. That did not go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giata, some manners, if you please.
Why start now?
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. What does he know? He isn't even an animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior, Miss Ivèrno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone.
I wish I could take credit for Giata's stubbornness, but she learned that on her own.
Thanks, old man. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want. On my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. Likewise. They should be educational for us both. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because Anamancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... No, sorry. I don't know what came over me. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave Fior, Miss Ivèrno. Forever. As much as I would love that, we're already out of time. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. Don't worry. Ignacy can't banish us all. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fior. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial envoy, research assistant. Who knew?
I'm counting on it.
Careful! Or we'll get thrown out of the pub! We're already thrown out. Really? Huh. When did that happen? Can't say as I remember. You... You ever think, what if I wasn't a ranger?
Of course. What would you do?
Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been? If I could help myself, do you think I don't... I'd like to be. They're out searching. I assume. Crazy. They were...
New recruit.
Anyway, they're out there, all... The last time I saw them, I sent them to a... If you go that way, please.
Two young Nemdutin wandering out by a river. Consider them found.
Maybe we don't look too soon. Give them a while. You know what I mean?
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amigo.
Founded machine. Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop. Giada, what a loss. I owe that young woman more than I could ever repay. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. Ha! A novel idea, that. What I need is a stronger power source. We can't make something out of nothing. We're still limited by our resources. I could use a large single block of Atra, but harvesting it is difficult in this environment. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
Well, let's go. That Atragon's heart isn't gonna yank itself out.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment.
Oh, it's you. Leave me alone, all right? I'm not looking for trouble. Remember Wolf, the one who put an arrow in your heart? I didn't have to be. I'd heard enough. That damn fool Wolf with his head full of visions. When he wanted to resort to violence, I knew I had to leave. I guess you must have seen something in him I didn't. Hope your mercy doesn't come back to bite ya. Maybe I'm brave, maybe I'm stupid. I'll find out eventually. In the meantime, I can sleep at night. Good luck out there. You go your way, I'll go mine. You go your way, I'll go mine.
Good. You finally showed up. I was worried you weren't coming. The name's Keeledge. Pleasure to meet you. Hilgard sent me to Emerald Stair to keep an eye on this place. I had orders to make contact as soon as you arrived. I won't talk long. He only wants me to let you know I'm here. If you need to get word to the ambassador, I'm your man. Depends on the day. Hilgard told me to blend in, observe, and contact you. Now, I think I'm just supposed to wait and report back in a few days. I'm worried about drawing attention from Ludwine's crew in the meantime. I think they're up to something. I've got a bad feeling about this. I think the scale of their operation is dangerous. All right. I suppose I can do that. Exactly how far do you want me to go with this? I'll do my best. Until later, envoy. Be seeing you. Or not.
Show me what you got! Another one!
Good fighting.
Don't! That's not hitting hard enough. To your left!
And roll! And roll! Take worth and roll! Too thin!
Heal yourself! God. Help! Look right! Coming from your right! Next one's mine! I think I sprained my shoulder.
Leave something alone long enough, and the living lands will take it back.
Arms up! Don't die! That's it for me! You're a good friend. On your right! that! This place could use a broom or two. Maybe a team of carpenters.
The great mystery.
Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. Fluent speech and upright posture show marks of sophistication in the endangered godlike. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
I suppose we owe her a favor. Or two.
Giada must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giada needs to finish her research. Deal? We want to know about the godlike, of course. You're the first one we've encountered in the wild.
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go round the wheel, you might not get so lucky. Tired of being remarkable? Interesting.
My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? So, you believe we need your help. Interesting.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Didn't anyone tell you? Well, it's a good thing we're here to remind you. Shame you had to learn it from us. Do you have an answer or not? Very optimistic, aren't we? I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, Godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giada wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
There's no cure for the Dream Scourge, much in the way that there's no cure for an avalanche.
Giada will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Of course. The idea is a bit high-minded. Adra acts like a pathway for souls as they rejoin the wheel.
And the Dream Scourge is a plague of the soul, is it not?
So, just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge. An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell. Did you hear that Giada was sent into exile? Well, if it isn't my favorite godlike...
I wish I knew.
Well, if it isn't my favorite godlike...
Those are no ordinary farmhands.
A godlike in Emerald's Den. Well, well. I'd offer to shake your hand, but I've been elbow deep in Beatrice all day. Try and use their names, if you don't mind. It builds their confidence. As you can see, this is my reanimated corpse farm.
Oh, and what do you use for fertilizer? Other corpses?
I'm trying to demonstrate the value of undead labor. But of course, nothing is ever that simple. What am I supposed to do? Just let them decompose? Reanimated corpses are the future of manual labor. Cost-effective, low maintenance, and very friendly. Now, Beatrice, she's being a real problem, if you can believe it. Would you be a dear and reach into her guts? Feel around for anything that doesn't belong. Aha! So the blight got into my revenant and interfered with her raising. That confirms one of my theories. Not only is the Dream Scourge affecting our farms, it's disrupting animancy, unraveling our work. Sounds like I have more research ahead of me, but at least now I have a sense of direction. Thank you for getting your hands dirty on my behalf, godlike. You're a natural. Not really, but that's a... Giada Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor. I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? He's a bigger fool than I thought. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. Silvo is one of my Revenants. My oldest, my favorite, and the pride of my flock. Someone needs to put the poor fellow out to pasture. And I just don't have the heart to do it myself.
Well, it's already dead. That's the hard part done right there.
When a Revenant goes bad, there's only one option. Final death. And poor Silvo's time has gone. Thank you for understanding. You could just be gentle with him.
So, we're killing a Revenant then? She just couldn't come out and say that?
And this is why I don't take pets.
You take lead.
Within rock! Within rock!
I was just getting warmed up.
Emerald Stair has seen better days. With any luck, the turning of the seasons will favor us. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge. They have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. And end up like Giata. No, thank you. The corpses, they need me. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say. Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giata are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been...
We're animancers. Hooking up equipment and seeing what happens is what we do. You see, the living lands is rich with essence, the energy of souls. We channel this energy into our fields. And that's why Emerald Stair is the breadbasket of the living lands.
There's something poetic about the idea of plants eating souls to survive. Creepy, but poetic.
But as you can see, we've been dealing with some irregularities. Thank you. We've been at it for a while now, but there is still so much to learn. Traditional farms depend on water, sunlight, and the mercy of insects. What you see here is no different. Animancy can change the world, but it's an uphill climb. People don't trust what they don't understand. Come back. Come back soon.
You should keep an eye on that scrape on your arm. You don't want it to get infected.
It barely even counts as a scrape.
That's the worst kind of flesh wounds. Lots of open skin contact. Snap flies like the peeled skin. Fog mites love the blood.
I'm sure it's nothing to worry about.
I have some tanglewood in my pack. That should clear it right up.
You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valian republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giada didn't draw blood. No doubt. That's why I admire the resolve. Living Landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people, especially when it means getting them to face a hard truth. You can't mount an attack if you're questioning every detail of the battle plan. But if you see you're charging into a trap, that's what I admire about Giada. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
Sometimes that just makes it easier.
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giada's situation.
Right. Like, what did you think I was talking about?
Anyway, this can't be an easy time for Giada, but I'm glad to have her on our side. What's on your mind? And troubling. What was it she said? The Steel Garrote will ensure the safety of Adiran interests? They aren't going to make you any friends, that's for sure.
That Adiran spy mentioned a Steel Garrote operation, too.
Yeah, he did. Stay sharp. A storm's brewing. And better if we can find it before it finds us. Then You're asking me? I'm not much of a gossip. Okay, who do you want to know about? Long enough that he's got a good roster of stories about my blunders in the wilds, which he'll remind us of constantly. He's got a soft heart under that gruff exterior. He feels things more deeply than he lets on, so if he burns the stew one evening, maybe don't mention it. Give him time, and don't rush the process. Think of him like a skittish little cub. He just needs to get used to you, but he'll come around once he does. Definitely don't tell him I said that. Okay, but only if you let me turn that question around once I've answered you. I think you've been trusted with a nearly impossible task. When we first met, I thought that was because you made some powerful enemies back home. But as I've gotten to know you, I think that if anyone can stop the Dream Scourge, it's you. What's more, you've got your head and your heart in the right place. You haven't let your duties or loyalties get in the way of being decent and reasonable. At the end of the day, I'm proud to fight alongside you. And there you have it. Your turn now. Oh, well, that's nice of you to say. I don't mean to be rude. That's just more praise than I've probably earned. Enough about me, right? Sure. Get some rest, Envoy.
Envoy? Well, that was interesting, right? The woman arguing about the crops failing? Standing up for what you believe against authority. I can respect that. Of course, my method would have been run away under the cover of night, never to return, but yeah, this works for her. I don't know. In my experience, it's always the snake you don't see that bites you. Anyway, There's clearly more going on here than a bunch of animancers sitting in dusty labs doing whatever they do all day. Beyond that, nah, I can't help you. Call me when you're back to facing real danger. Right, changing the subject. Pleasant dreams. You might want to consider not... Oh, good. Anyway, what do you need? Oh, good. Let's have it. What do you... I'd just tell you what I told you last time you asked me that. Let's see. Right. What? I don't try. Right. Anyway, what do you need? You too.
The Adra stirs, a crackle of light in a withered field. We had not considered this. The mundane, a lifetime lived in silence. We forget this. We wilt, we gnaw with hunger now. What has come of this place? A hand of generosity, or a gauntlet of steel? We feel them. They bend and hone the essence of the earth. They draw from our veins like a well. What are these rituals? A new tongue, an unfamiliar name. A harvest grows, the dead rise. What do they hope to achieve? Set what has been broken, soothe the pain. They build walls in their hearts. Why do they not share what they make? Punished, cast out. We understand. We peer through the murky water in vain. What is the truth? Fire that burns the forest feeds the soil with its ash. We have learned much. Dream of soaring wings in your repose.
Careful where you step. Might be a twig, might be a snake.